Just let everyone take just a second to get into the room and we'll get started. Hey, Keith. Hey, April. Can you hear
Hello,
us?
Jeff.
There you are. Okay. What's happening?
The whole world, man. It's really going to get crazy in about 3 days. What do you think?
I think it is.
You
Uh,
popping over there?
I am looking forward to a good week in Miami.
Good. That means I get to see you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
In 3D.
That's right. In real life, as Keith
Yep.
likes to say.
That's awesome.
All right, why don't we get cooking? So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Jeff Finn, CEO of RealNext, and delighted to be here today and have with me our head of visual technology, Brian Collin. Brian has some great new tools to share and show and present what RealNext is doing these days to help visualize your market, your property, and yourself. It can do anything from take a regional perspective, showing areas and points of interest that would drive the benefit of a particular asset, showcase that asset with a 3D model if it doesn't exist, and also show your track record if you want to display on a map in an individual way all the great projects and successes you've had and put that into a video presentation. So we found this is a great tool to put in a boardroom for a presentation or as a link to share with clients. I'll let Brian take you on a deep dive into it and showcase some examples of what we've done for some projects around the country and for clients for various product types. So works on any product type and any market. We can do what Brian's about to share with you from video, from renderings, and for virtual reality.
Thank you, Jeff. So first we will start with our aerial video tours. We'll explain the technology used to create the tours, some key features and capabilities. Jeff touched on what their primary uses are, and the value propositions, as well as the features and the pricing. So an aerial video tour, it's a marketing tool that's professionally edited, that's using either satellite imagery or drone or both. And then we create graphics to tell the story of either a property or broker or brokerage. And so what we're doing is we're trying to figure out what is something that's very catchy and tells the story of a location, whether it's built or unbuilt, and how do we help people get an understanding if this is a property that they want to purchase or lease. Here is an example. Oh, sorry, I thought a video was supposed to play.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Here is an example. So this is an example of one of the property aerial tours. And this is reducing multiple cluttered PowerPoint slides to something very memorable. So everything from where it's located, subways, nearby transportation, landmarks, points of interest. Getting an understanding for this, we start showing up close, and then we're giving the sense of how close you are to Central Park, right? And now we're giving the sense of where you can drive in from. It's right in the center of New York City, because that's the story that they wanted to tell with that property, right? So we're helping tell the story. The second example is for promotional uses, something that can go in an email signature that can be used to promote yourself, your business, without having to talk up your successes. So how much have you sold, some of your biggest sales, your expertise, your team, some reason why they're going to you instead of the other options, and something that anyone that gets an email from you that watches it or on your social media will remember to say, oh, I know somebody that does industrial in this part of the city, and you can get referrals from there. Um, so we can easily convey the value of the site, its location. Um, we can build out a property in 3D and then place it in the um, satellite imagery so it looks as if it's built, so that you can see it, what it will look like. You can see the future roadways, give people an understanding of why this is a new development. We can show the property in different vantage points, where it's located, the walking areas, to really help decision making and to make it something that the end buyer is going to really connect with. And it's a way for brokers to stand out from the competition, to generate more offers, interest, engagement. But most of all, it's to win more business down the line, both from your client and everyone else that is looking at this property or yourself, this video, that they can then connect with you better. So highlighting your expertise, what you do, how you do it, your success, um, credibility and trust, uh, and to really differentiate yourself. Those are the keys for the promotional ones. Um, and these videos are made up of different scenes. We'll kind of go through what a scene is, and it's essentially from different vantage points, whether it's zoomed in or zoomed out, whether it's from drone or from satellite, what we're telling with each scene. And a scene may be, border size, it may be uh, boundaries, nearby cities, roadways, schools, landmarks, um, comps, economic data. So this is fully customizable. We're not doing a cookie cutter, this is what you see for every single one. We're really deep diving and storyboarding what is it that we're trying to get, what's the messaging that we're trying to get, and to then put that in a visual format that's very palatable. And we're putting in somewhere between 5 to 7 points of interest per scene, because we don't want to overload the viewer for what they're looking at. And with each tier, we'll go through pricing at the end, but with each tier, you get a certain number of features that are included. These are all, except for 360 Meet, you can kind of understand what they are. 360 Meet is a streaming platform that we offer that allows you, when you're doing a presentation online, when you're sharing a video, it will play in perfect quality for everyone that you're sharing it with, even if you're not on a good connection. So that choppiness that you see when you're on a Zoom call, you won't see it on that streaming platform. So if that's an issue for you, that's something that we've solved for. We also offer premium services, so it's an all-in-one um, marketing company, which is really what RealNext is. So we can do things like drone capture, time lapse, which is an idea that Jeff came up with. So if you have a new development land sale, for instance, and you're trying to show where it is, what's it going to look like, what it has looked like, um, that's something that we can show and go back 20 years and show it over time. This is an example of a premium version that has drone and standard video and um, satellite imagery throughout, both indoor and outdoor. And this is something that can be used forever, which is what the client's using it for, because they have an exclusive on the property, and there's many different units that are available or become available over time, and so that they can use it for every single lease. So it's something that is really good when it's something that can be built upon. So for a personal one, if you're using it for promotional and you're, say, biggest deals of this year, it's something that you can use and update a year after, and you don't need to pay for a whole new video. You may just need 30 minutes of updates to add in your successes over the previous year, right? And that would be a very, very low cost. So it becomes added value over time. And as I let this play, I don't know if we're going to take questions during or after, but you'll get a great example of the quality of the graphics, and you'll see the story that is trying to be told. This is an example in San Francisco, a very tough leasing market, but when we show this, you're right on the water, you're right next to the baseball stadium. Oh, this would be really cool. I can take clients and walk them there. It's a 4-minute walk to a baseball game. If I want to get a suite there, I want to get some tickets, or I want to do a ferry ride. This is something that's very appealing about this location that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. This is an example of the time lapse, which was Jeff's idea, and it's really cool. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And to show a population change and to show how a city has expanded and how this new plot of land, which is up for sale, is inevitably the next place that the city will grow to. So instead of just a random plot, you now have, oh, this is where the next new home development will take place because there's nothing else available around here, right? So it's not just on the outskirts of the town, it's a specific location that's being built into and growing into for a city. This is an example of how we 3D model a property and put it in Google Earth. So this property is not built yet, but we can show it exactly with the landscaping and the roadways and how it will look from all vantage points. And we can show it in different layouts also. So if they're undecided on how they want it to look, we can do that as well.
Brian, got a question.
Yes, sir.
Keith Andrews here. So in this example or anything like it, where you've got nothing but you've got a major project you're doing and you can create this, what do you do? Do we have our architect get with you guys and give you an idea what it's supposed to be or whatever, or how do you go about making this happen?
Exactly right. So we've done everything from literally drawn out plots for new home development, and we just overlay that on the map, to having architectural plans, 3D CAD, building design files. We can work with whatever you have at that point in the project. And we can also turn these around really quickly. So we have a full team behind us, because we understand that projects need to be launched. You need to have these things on a certain day, but exactly right. Whatever you have. And then we can also take renders from what we've built so that you can, reduce that expense for what typically the owner is paying for, which is much more than what we end up charging. So you save money in the process. And so we can deliver these in lots of different options, right? You can have the video to download, to embed anywhere. You can have it as a URL to stream. And we can also build it within a website like this so that you can have your aerial tour with your other, say you have pictures and you have a PDF that you want to show, and you have some site plans, and you have, some other random video that you've taken. We can combine them all into a website so that is the property landing page, and that has everything there all in a single location. Or you can do it in a traditional way if you choose.
That project actually was for James Abdullah, one of the EXP colleagues. Many of you know a project he's working on in Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. This is our pricing. So the standard, which is what we call Pro, it's $2,000, and it's typically between 45 seconds and 1 minute and 15 seconds. So it's a slightly shorter, but it can tell the story of either promotional or for property or properties. And it includes 2 features, 3 scenes. The premium is $4,000. with 6 scenes and 4 features. And this is going to be, a minute and a half to, or a minute 45 to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We really try not to push it beyond 2.5 minutes, unless it's a really big multi-property development. And then Elite is just going to be showing a lot more information, typically a little faster, for something really high end, or to really do a big promotion behind, a new portfolio one, or, some celebration of yourself. But even then, Elite wouldn't be for that. It would be more in the pro or the premium tier.
So Brian,
Yes, sir.
let's discuss that again. So number of scenes, when you say there's 6 scenes, what are you really saying here? Like, I give you a project that's full of retail, that's being built. In other words, I want to do this service here at least a premium level. What are my 6 scenes? What do you mean? Like 6 different buildings, or what? What are you saying?
No, so we will work with you in storyboard and say, okay, this is a new proposed retail site. So here are some of the things that we think we want to highlight. And those may be large multifamily properties nearby. It may be a scene about economic info, the average wealth
Yeah, okay. It's
in
kind
the
of like what you
area.
were showing, earlier, where you were zooming out of Manhattan and New York, and those are different scenes, right?
Exactly. It may be medium income. It may be number of cars that drive by that road that leads to the entrance every single day. It may be nearby shopping that's available. It may be nearby price per square foot, um, other new developments or new businesses that are being built nearby.
Yes.
Whatever it is that helps tell the story for that property is what each of the scenes is going to be. There's nothing just generic of, well, we show this, then we show this. It's okay, let's understand your project, and then let's figure out how do we pitch this in the best possible way, and then we create it visually, and then working with a broker as much as they want to be involved, or we can handle it on our own.
Okay, so uh, is this a separate service that any one of us here could order from you today and not be a subscriber to RealNex?
Yes.
All right, cool. And will you have this at EXPCon, Jeff?
I'll be glad to show you. And yeah,
You'll
there's a
have this?
lot of different use cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can share. Like the I don't know if you have maybe I can share it, Brian, if you don't.
Yeah. What do you need?
I'm trying to show that the Sprouts in Houston.
I don't know that one, but I can. This is my contact, and then I'm guessing Jeff will send everyone my contact if you want to get in touch. If you have
I just pinged it.
questions.
I put it into the share.
Okay, perfect. And I'll stop sharing, and Jeff can share.
Here's actually another one I'll share, and then we'll go into the Sprouts. I'll have some other questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple of other use cases that I think are fantastic. So this was to sell this building as a headquarters building, and they wanted to show it to the client as they would envision it. So it was empty building, and why isn't it not changing? So this could be interactive model or a video. So you can actually enable the client to walk in, and we have different scenes that they can use, and we could show it in multiple different ways. And then so here's what the building looked like as a blank shell as it was. And then they were marketing this to Trex to make it their headquarters. So they wanted to show it with different features and aspects that Trex could put into it. And so they put a sort of branded it for the company and then laid it out with their, like a museum and a training center and multiple different features that would convert that empty shell into a usable space. And you can see how it becomes more engaging as you fill in the space. And a lot of people just can't conceptualize what's going to be done and how you can do it. Can you make it work? So this enables you to help a client visualize the aspect and see even that on the left, there's a player with video within the scene where you can put content within content and have different ability to either have the sort of a video playing or narration going on or text overlays. It's really up to your imagination what you can do and how you can take advantage of it.
All right, Jeff. So here's a question to you and Brian. How many scenes did we just see in that example? Is that a 6-scene thing, a 4-scene thing, or was that one scene?
That wasn't an aerial tour. That was a 3D building model.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Of which we can place in there. There are two separate products that can be combined or can be separate. But one of the things to really harp on, if you see another example elsewhere, is the quality is really where we stand out the most. Where we tend to be at the better price point, but never the cheapest, because a picture can just be cheaper. But the quality is really unmatched. None of this is real except for the views. So we're able to pull the real views so that you can see exactly what's there, but all of the furnishing, all of the windows, the lights, the ceiling, none of that exists. And then what the client will do is they'll say, "Hey, Brian, I have a big presentation coming up on Tuesday with this company," and we'll then put up the company's logo on the wall here within this virtual experience, and we'll put it in the opening intro, and we'll put a picture of the boss on the desk where it's going to be, so that it looks like, oh my God, you personalized and built this for me. Because even if this presentation doesn't lead to a sale, you've made a really good impression, and you've been able to reuse something that you may spend $20 on the updates for the presentation, but again, like, it's just continuing to add value and really separate yourself when you do have somebody coming in for an in-person meeting.
And that view is worth 1,000 words as well. So you just have the ability to put someone in the building without having to be in the building.
Exactly right.
Just I'll show one other, and then we'll have some more questions. But often we find that clients have buildings that are, let's call them ugly or dirty or dilapidated and not really easy to show. So here's one case where beat up old building in Detroit. It's going to be a condo or project, and I'm not going to buy one of these condos. I don't know about you, but this is not a way to show the space, because that's what it looked like. And so how do you market that space? So you create a virtual version of it as it's going to be, not as it is. And you can begin to look at it. And again, this is showing just as the box, but we could drop that onto the earth as Brian did in the video tour, and sort of take this virtual model and put it into the real world model. And then all of a sudden it just lights up and say, wow, yeah, now I can think about buying one of these units off the plan. So for your developer clients, for planning and approval, it's incredible because it helps the community understand the impact of a property in a market. Someone raising capital, they can say, okay, now I get your idea of what you want to do here. And then for pre-leasing and pre-sale, it's fantastic. And again, as an asset manager, as different units become available, all of a sudden you just light up one unit versus another, and you've got something that very quickly becomes a great new marketing tool. So you get to amortize that development cost that Brian talked about over the life cycle of a property. And it can go with the property. So you've got a virtual version of the property. So if you sell the property, here, now take the virtual version of it, and it adds value to the new owner, and you can probably recoup your investment back over time like that as well. Any more questions? Keith can't be the only one with questions. April, what's going on?
I was actually reaching for the unmute button.
There you go.
I'm a little hoarse here, but I'll get it out. The renderings that you just showed us, is that included in the prices that Brian shared? Because Brian just mentioned that there were, this wasn't, when Keith asked the question about how many themes you just shown us, Brian mentioned that it was a different product or a different piece that you
Sorry for confusing if I did. So Brian talked about aerial video tours and gave you the pricing package for that. And we also have the virtual reality for a specific building, which is in a similar range per project.
Yes, and if we're gonna 3D model the building and overlay it in there, it's a premium option. It's $1,000 as an add-on, and then you can also use that as and have it as a model and have it for renderings also. But because we have to build it all from scratch, the the physical building exterior, that's the $1,000 charge for that.
Okay, thank you.
If we don't have any other questions, we appreciate all of your time and
Jeff, so are you guys gonna be on our exhibit floor?
we won't be exhibiting, but I'll be there and
Okay.
glad to answer any questions or show you more examples. So I'll be in the commercial area.
Yeah, yeah, because I think I think there'll be a few people. We have 8,000 square feet of exhibit floor that's strictly EXP commercial, if you can believe that. So that's a lot of footage.
Yep. Well, glad to help make good use of it, Keith. So
Yeah,
I'll look for you.
yeah. We be nice if you can throw some of this up on a TV or something. You want to ask Sean Murphy. He said there's going to be extra TVs laying around in there and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing for that
All right,
8,000.
I'll talk to Sean and see if I can.
Yeah, ask Sean about that. Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else going to be there? Anyone else coming to Miami? Got a quiet group. Well, if you are there, I look forward to seeing you. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Keith, and the rest of the crew here. We appreciate the access to this top agent forum and Commercial Wednesday. And if you have any interest and projects that would make sense, either for yourself or for your clients, let us know.
You bet. Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.